It was a bright morning Moses remembered vividly. He had accompanied his brother to the market to buy food for the week. The market buzzed with activity, second-hand clothes spread on black polythene sheets, traders haggling over prices, and the thick scent of commerce filling the air. Girls in colorful Sunday dresses passed by, one capturing Moses' attention. He sat on the grass, chin in hands, watching life move. The blue sky stretched endlessly, the sun beaming with warmth. It was a perfect day to meet friends and play football, he thought. He loved playing at school and longed to join the boys kicking a ball nearby. Yet something made him stay still, perhaps curiosity about the world around him. As he looked again, the sky dimmed, gray clouds like smoke curling into the horizon. He squinted, predicting a heavy storm that seemed to be gathering strength. But like most weather prophets, Moses was wrong. Without warning, the sky darkened, swallowing the sunlight in a black blanket. The market that had been lively moments ago turned into chaos. Women shouting, folding their wares, dashing for cover. Moses ran to the posho mill where his mother had gone, but she wasn't there. He checked their usual shop for credit provisions, still no sign of her. A thunderclap ripped the air, freezing him in terror as people scrambled in all directions. Like a footballer chasing the ball, Moses sprinted toward a nearby shop and ducked under the veranda for safety. The rain came in slanted sheets, lashing through the open stalls. People huddled together, soaked, shifting between shelters for a dry spot. Moses squeezed beside a young girl about his age. They exchanged shy smiles as the storm raged. Within moments, the rain ceased, abruptly, like a conductor halting a choir. A sigh of relief rippled through the market. Laughter and chatter returned as streams of water gurgled toward the river. A drenched man staggered past, dripping and ignored by amused onlookers. Then came a scene that made everyone laugh. A heavy woman slipped into a manhole, her shopping floating away as she tried to recover it, swallowing rainwater instead. The market burst into laughter. Moments later appeared George, a tall, drunken man swaying like a broken mast. His wild eyes and jerky movements drew attention. He shadowboxed imaginary foes, kicked at puddles, and declared himself the soldier of the rain. Once a real soldier, George had been dismissed for desertion. Now he drank day and night, despised by villagers. Yet in that drenched moment he became entertainment. People clapped and cheered as he saluted the invisible president, his drunken parade brightening an otherwise gloomy day. By evening, the once vibrant market looked like a lake. Fields were waterlogged, roads flooded, drains clogged. Vehicles splashed through recklessly, spraying stranded travelers who cursed at them. As dusk fell, market-goers began trudging home, hopping over gurgling streams. Moses followed like a drenched hen, arms folded for warmth. Among the group was the girl from earlier, walking beside him silently. He knew the general direction home, but darkness fell fast. Villagers moved like shadows in the pitch-black night. No streetlights, no paths clearly marked. Only the moonlight guided them. Men were notably absent, likely drinking in bars, leaving women to find their way home. At a forked path, the group split in two. Confused, Moses hesitated. The girl followed one path downhill, waving goodbye. He was left stranded, unsure which way led home. The quiet, eerie village night pressed around him like a blanket of mystery. Moses decided to follow a group of chatting women, their laughter chasing away the cold. One by one, they branched off to their homes, leaving him alone on a path he didn't recognize. He cursed under his breath, realizing he had followed the wrong route. This was the long road used during floods to avoid the swollen river. Strangely, not a drop of rain had reached his village. The dry dust rose softly around his feet, glowing under the moonlight. The air was warm, a night for lovers to meet under banana trees. But Moses's mood was uneasy. A dog barked somewhere, and he stopped, unwilling to face a mad dog in the dark. Using the moon as his compass, he realized he was near the playground where he once scored 2 goals, earning the nickname Messi. Little did he know, at night, that same field hosted something sinister. The villagers whispered of nightrunners, strange, naked beings who sprinted through the darkness, terrorizing anyone who dared walk alone. They claimed these creatures used dead men's arms as whips and could ruin lives forever. As Moses crept across the field, he thought he saw figures crouching ahead. His heart pounded, but when he moved closer, they turned out to be mere bushes. He laughed nervously, yet his courage faded when he noticed fireflies glowing in the distance, like ghostly escorts of a corpse. His imagination raced. He'd read stories of witches performing rituals under moonlight. Then, out of nowhere, a dark, naked figure sped past him, swift as wind. Moses froze. The figure turned, flicking its tongue like a lizard, dancing crudely before him, and finally farted loudly before vanishing into the night. Moses trembled. He had just met a real nightrunner. Moses stood paralyzed, his body refusing to move. Firefly lights reappeared, only now he knew they weren't insects. They were torches of other nightrunners gathering ahead. Panic surged through him. He darted his eyes around, unsure where to run. Then another figure appeared suddenly, naked and dark, grinning in the shadows. This time, Moses didn't wait. He bolted, sprinting faster than ever before, his heart thundering. He could hear laughter and shrill cries behind him as the nightrunners gave chase, enjoying the game. The darkness seemed alive with their presence, every shadow a possible pursuer. Finally, in the distance, he heard a familiar drunken voice. George, the soldier of rain, announcing his toughness to the night. Relief washed over Moses like light breaking through fog. He ran toward George, desperate for safety and human company in the haunted night. Moses sneaked up behind George and tapped his back playfully. Startled, George spun around, fists ready, landing a quick jab in the air. "Son of Martha, you wanted to scare me?" he barked. "No, soldier, I can't scare you," Moses stammered. George puffed up his chest. "You know I can kill somebody?" "Please don't," Moses pleaded. "You're not a night runner, are you?" George asked suspiciously. "No, I'm not." "Then we'll fight them," George declared. "Those subhuman creatures, they scare people, but we'll show them dust." Moses nodded eagerly, comforted by the drunk's courage. Together, they vowed to vanquish the night runners. "They've held this village hostage too long," George growled. "We'll catch them by surprise." But when he turned to go, Moses stopped him. "Wait, the fires are gone, they've fled." George grinned. "They know I'm with you." "I'm a killer. Don't fear, son of Martha, we are soldiers tonight." Their voices echoed through the village, bold and drunken. "I'm drunk like a shipwreck. I fear nobody, not even a night runner," George bellowed. Moses laughed nervously beside him, the tension melting into absurd relief. From nearby huts, villagers peered through windows, wondering when Moses had joined the drunkards. But anyone who had seen him running past the night runners would have forgiven him for being drunk on air. For Moses, it was the sweetest victory, the night he survived the horrors of the dark and found courage in the strangest company. The moon watched silently as the two unlikely companions marched homeward, one drunk, one trembling, both victorious. It was a night Moses would never forget, the night he met the legendary night runners and lived to tell the tale.